First order of business is the adoption of an agenda. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, you have before you the October 24th, 2019 minutes. Have you had a chance to review those? Any changes? Motion of approval? All those in favor? Motion carries. All right, any council members in our audience? We have. I don't see him in the room. All right, we'll make that deferral. All right, items for deferral withdrawal. Staff?
The following items are for deferral or withdrawal. Item number 1, 2019 CP 005002 on page 4 of your agenda, the East Nashville Community Plan Amendment Dickerson South Corridor Study. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting. Item number 3, 2019 SP 045001, 2500 West Hyman Street. Staff recommendation is to defer to the January 16th, 2020 meeting. Item number 4, 2019 SP 047001, the Nipfer Corner SP. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting. Item number 6A on page 5 of your agenda, 2019 CP 014001, Donaldson Hermitage Old Hickory Community Plan Amendment. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting. The associated case, item 6B, 2019 Z 158 PR 001. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting. Item number 7A, 2019 SP 068001, Stewart's Ferry Pike Multifamily. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting. Item 7B, 155 74P 009, the Larchwood PUD cancellation. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting. And item number 9, 2014 SP 082002 on page 6 of your agenda, the Wedgwood Lofts SP periodic review. Staff recommendation is to defer to the December 12th Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you. Let me read these again just to make sure we've got them right. Items for deferral withdrawal 1, 3, 4, 6A, 6B, 7A, 7B, and 9.
That's correct.
Do I have a motion? All those approval? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the consent agenda items, please.
As information for our audience, if you are not satisfied with the decision made by the Planning Commission today, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of cert with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Planning Commission's decision. To ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met, please be advised that you should contact independent legal counsel. As noticed to the public, items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. No individual public hearing will be held, nor will the Commission debate these items unless a member of the audience or the Commission requests that the item be removed from the consent agenda. The following items are on the consent agenda. Item number 2, 2018 SP 018001 on page 4 of your agenda, 325 Flora Maxwell Road, SP. It's a request to rezone from R6 to SP for property located on Flora Maxwell Road to permit 4 multifamily residential units. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Item number 5, 2019 Z 019TX 001 on page 5 of your agenda. A request for an ordinance amending chapters 1704, 1708, 1716, and 1720 of Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code pertaining to airport medium or large commercial service. Staff recommendation is to approve, and I will note that Commissioner Tibbs is recusing himself from that item. Item number 8, 2016 SP 012002 on page 6 of your agenda, Vibe at the Preserve Amendment. It's a request to amend a specific plan for property located on Perimeter Court to permit a 64,000 square foot hotel. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Item number 10, 8487P006 on page 6 of your agenda, the Crossings PUD revision and final. It's a request to revise the preliminary plan and for final site plan approval for a portion of the Crossings Planned Unit Development Overlay for property located at 5510 Crossings Circle to permit a 4,665 square foot addition to an existing building. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions. Item number 11, 2019Z157PR001 on page 6. It's a request to apply a contextual overlay district to various properties located south of Saundersville Road. Staff recommendation is to approve. Item number 12, 2019Z159PR001. It's a request to rezone from R10 to RS10 zoning for various properties located south of Saundersville Road. Staff recommendation is to disapprove as submitted and approve with a substitute ordinance. Item number 13, 2019Z161PR001 on page 7 of your agenda. A request to rezone from SP to R6A for property located at 903 North 2nd Street. Staff recommendation is to approve. And item number 14, 2019Z163PR001. A request to rezone from RS10 to R6A for properties located on Buena Vista Pike and Stokers Lane. Staff recommendation is to approve. Under other business, item 15, 1100 Porter Street Hotel Bonus Height Certification. And item number 19, to accept the director's report and approve administrative items.
All right, let me read those back. These are for the consent agenda. Items 2, 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 19. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I need a motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion carried. All right, on to historic.
I did want to note for those watching at home that one item was to defer to the January 16th meeting, and that meeting will be held at an alternative location at the school administration building on Bransford Avenue.
Thank you. All right, historic? Any report?
Still working on the design guidelines, but no report.
All right. Parks, we opened a park yesterday, cut a ribbon at Capitol View for Frankie Pierce Park, a very exciting day. Executive Committee? Director's report?
Well, first, I wanted to say on behalf of the chairman and the commission to extend a warm welcome to Mina Johnson, who is representing Mayor Cooper, and we welcome you to planning. We are grateful for your public service to the city. I know you as a very passionate, outspoken supporter of the planning department, cities, all kinds of things that while in your term at council, and we look forward to you bringing that expertise to this phase of the review.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here. I feel like I came back to the full circle because this is where I started my public service. I am so excited to be a part of the team.
So I have one other, Lisa, so we're just confirming here, Lisa, that we don't have any items to hear tonight in the agenda? Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, so I've asked one additional agenda item. Greg, if you could come up. So often we have heavy agendas and some of the other work in the planning department is not highlighted at the commission. So I just asked Greg, who manages our neighborhood planning and research sections, to give us a brief update on a couple things that we are doing beyond land development. I also, Chairman, see Councilman Hager here. Would you want to entertain anything from him?
I think none of those are planned.
Yeah, okay. Hi, welcome, Councilman.
And one of them's going to get deferred, so I had the show and force, which was, let me find it.
Items 6A and 6B.
And 6B.
Yes,
It's on
those-
consent. I do have some of my constituents here that are in favor of this.
Good.
I had a community meeting. It was overwhelming in favor of this. So if that's on consent, I'm happy with that. And then the other one I had was on Swinging Bridge Road. I can't remember which number it is. but the staff has recommended to defer that one meeting. They've got to get the plats worked out on that. So I appreciate y'all allowing me to come up here and speak.
Thanks, Councilman.
Okay, now if I may, Greg, thank you.
Sure. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm always going to give you an update on a couple of things that go a little bit below the radar, and then some of our long-range studies that are getting underway. The first thing that I wanted to mention is every 4 years when there's a council election, we provide district profiles to all the council members. Lucy has a couple of copies to
Gonna
pass
send
around
this
in each
down.
direction. These are just kind of a summary of some key information in each district, kind of demographics, land uses, policy and zoning, public facilities, that sort of thing. It also provides a little bit of background on the work of the Planning Commission, zoning districts, that sort of thing. This is a department-wide effort to compile land development, long-range planning, GIS, kind of everyone pitches in to pull these together and get them distributed to council members. We passed out paper copies at a council training about a month ago, and we've posted these online to our website as well. So at a certain point, it becomes a community resource for people interested in that kind of information. Speaking of the website, we've also begun, you may have noticed in one of Laura Hardwick's recent emails, we've also begun a refresh of our website. This is partly getting ready for a larger metro-wide effort to update the website. For our part, what we've been doing is streamlining content, reorganizing it, trying to make it a little simpler and easier to find, and making sure everything is up to date. We're about 2/3 of the way through, so there's a little bit more to do, but we've made good progress. If you have any trouble finding anything, kind of as you go through, by all means, let us know. We're trying to keep an eye on what's moving and how we can make that clear to people. In terms of the long-range planning studies, we've got a couple that are just getting underway and a couple more that are getting ready to start. Tuesday night, we had a community meeting for a Gallatin Pike study around kind of the core of Madison. We had an introductory meeting over the summer where we kind of let people know we were going to get this underway. This one's a little bit different. Normally, we have a lot of visioning. A lot of that work has already been done in Madison, so this is focused a little bit more on what are some plausible next steps that people can move forward to achieve the vision that's been established up there. We're just starting to get underway with a second phase of Dickerson Pike. This is a northern portion, geographically separate from the Dickerson Pike South that we completed recently and has a couple of pieces that are still under work. We're also getting underway with a follow-on project from the Wedgwood, Houston, and Chestnut Hill study. This is looking at a contextual infill urban design overlay to help manage change in some of the residential portions of those two neighborhoods. We are getting underway kind of internally, but expect to go public with that sometime in the next year. Similarly, we're gotten underway scoping out a study of our industrial and impact policy. These are areas that don't get a lot of detailed consideration through some of our corridor work or small area studies. So we wanted to step back and take kind of a countywide look at how those policy areas are performing, how intensely they're used, what kind of characteristics current industrial users are looking for, so that we have some framework for understanding kind of how those areas could expand or grow, or new areas could come into being in the future. We're also collecting a set of minor updates and fixes to the downtown code. This is something that we have done periodically over the last 10 or 12 years since the code has been in place. Again, that's something that we're just getting underway, collecting those together, looking to do in the new year. The last thing that I wanted to mention is we're compiling a 2019 report for Nashville Next. This is collecting together key data on trends on how the county is changing over time related to the goals of Nashville Next, things that we've been working on to implement Nashville Next, and some challenges and things to work on into the future. We're finalizing that report and look forward to distributing it to you all and to briefing you, talking through it at some point in the next year. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes my report.
Well, we're waiting on a legislative report from Councilor Murphy, but she has snuck out of the room. She snuck out. Okay. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Meeting adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.